All right, just getting a couple things, last minute things together here, and we'll get going with the stream. Hello, everyone. Good to see you all on this Saturday night or Sunday morning, depending on where you are in the world. And yeah, we'll get right into some monster exposing. I'll tell you, before we get into that though, I have been really hard pressed to not make the video about encounter building with Sly Flourish's table versus what I had read and found out in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. So I'm like I'm not sure if I want to do a full video or just do some shorts. I haven't done a full video in some time now. But if I do a full video, I'm thinking I might do it something along the lines of similar to what Treant Monk and Pack Tactics and those fellows do. Yeah, that's good. Good thing I can, help you take your break for a little while, Grim Boy. Nice. I haven't played Hollow Knight. One game I would like to give a shot at sometime. Yeah, I'm thinking, Clorox, that the encounter building probably does require like a full video, somewhere between 5 to 10 minutes or so, and then see if I need to go for a second video on that or not. I gotta work out a script and decide how I want to break it down and go from there. I think my brother played Hollow Knight for a little bit. I know it stylistically, the art and the way they created the game is fantastic looking. I just need more time. I might have to look into, some polyphasic sleeping and, sleep for 4 hours, get up, and then just power nap through the rest of the day so I can do more stuff. Okay, let's see here. Let me get to the amazing game, really good combat, great world building, deep lore, great art and music, fun bosses. Yeah, if a game's got really great lore, I will just dig into that hard. I think the last time something along those lines was probably the Legacy of Kain series. That was one of my all-time favorites, especially when it came to the lore and time travel and whatnot. Oh yeah, I don't blame you. My brother played that. He's got some artwork of Hollow Knight between him, the main character, and that I can't think of the female-looking character, the one boss, like Sting or something. I can't think of her name, but my brother did some artwork on that. Let me see here. Let me go to the main screen, and we'll take a quick detour here to my brother's Instagram page. Chris Philhart. Oops, it would help if I finished. Oh, it actually rerouted. Right now, he's been on this huge kick for Earthbound. So if you love Earthbound, or if you haven't played Earthbound, it's a great game, great and Super Nintendo game. But what I'm looking for is his. Let's see here. He does some art like this style here, and oh yeah, here's part of it. Okay, so we found a little bit of it. Let's see if we can get to the actual bit real quick here. There's some Shovel Knight. And there's some more progress on that. So did I skip over it? He did some Raziel for Legacy of Kain for me, which is cool. Anyways, if you're curious to try and find it, he's got some artwork on there. And I'll throw it in chat real quick. Let's see here. Okay. It's got the Dark Souls style world building and lore where it's all environmental and things you figure out along the way. Cool. So yeah, I know it's just one of those games I really gotta sit down and play. The aspect of D&T that really dragged me in. Ah, okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay. All right. So without any further delay here, we have another look at the monster from last week, I believe it was. Did we look at this one last week? Pretty sure we did. Let me double check here. Clorox, you threw this up last week, right? Oh no, Mordekash was the last one. So we have Another one. Okay, never mind. I thought this was a similar one here. Okay. Oh, cool. All right. So we have Durastoran the Wormbreaker. Medium shape changer, lawful evil. Oh, cool, Grimboy. How did that work out? What classes and subclasses did you pick for the main character for Hollow Knight? All right, let's start with that. And we have 15 or 22 with prophetic knowledge, foreknowledge. I'm going to guess that prophetic foreknowledge might be an all-the-time thing. Hello, Asky Basky. Welcome to the stream. I'm pretty sure I've seen you around. It's great that you can finally make it and join along with us as we look at a custom monster here of Durastoran, the Wormbreaker. I'm going to throw in this prophetic foreknowledge here, like I was saying, as a possible... This is always going to be on if I see that... Actually, we can just look at it right here. It's at the bottom. Durastoran has glimpsed the draconic prophecy so many times that he now possesses a cosmic awareness of the future in a 30-foot radius around him. Against creatures in the affected area, Durastoran cannot be surprised, attacks against him cannot be made at advantage, and has an AC of 22. Alright, so generally speaking, the majority of attacks probably might come from this, although we could say, let's just take the average of 22 and 15. If we take an average group, we might see, you know, maybe 2 melee and 2 ranged characters at some point. Oh, it's a warlock. For this one here? Oh, yeah, okay. I see that now. Oh, yeah. Specifically a Gulak. Interesting. He's from the same faction as Mordekash. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Thank you, Clorox. Alright. So, let's say, just for the heck of it, we'll probably have, you know, if we have a group of 4 players, 2 of them will probably be melee, 2 of them will probably be ranged of some form, 2 magic, 1 magic, and 1, you know, archer or crossbowman or something. So let's say we'll take the average here. And what will that be? Let's see here. Round down, average, 22 and 15. And we get an AC of 18. So I'm going to suggest we stick with an AC of 18 since this will give us our average. And we'll move on from there, just for the heck of it. We could also go back later on and see what it looks like if we only have just melee or just casters or ranged or so on. So we have a medium, and this is supposed to be 32d8 with the following stats of 15, 20, 22, 21, 24, and 24. Now we're looking at a potential CR25 monster with, let's see here, how many we have 1, 2, 3 saving throws here. So we'll bump that up to 3 to 4. And then we have damage immunities of necrotic, poison, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing from non-magical attacks. Okay. So we'll throw that in, and we'll take a look at that after the fact to see what the difference is here. So we get 25% more hit points with the immunities. I recently started a new run of Hollow Knight after not playing it in a long time. Is it coming back to you? I know many games, when I come back to them, they usually, you know, I get right back into the swing of things. Yeah, still an elite game. Yeah, I watched the used car salesman's review of Hollow Knight, and it was hilarious. Such a good video. I actually did some artwork for them, too, just for the fun of it, which came in a perfect time for them, because they had got COVID, unfortunately, like, real early on into the pandemic, and they when they came back to everything, they got my email with the artwork that I'd done, and they were really excited and happy to get the artwork, which was cool. Okay, so if you ever go to their channel, the used car salesman, and you see some pixelated artwork, that was me. All right, moving on, we have, let's see, conditions, immunities. We did the immunities. We don't have to worry about conditions. So let's move down into the monster traits here. And we already looked at prophetic foreknowledge. And we have mythic resistances. So we can use this to exchange legendary actions to pass a saving throw if need be. So we'll skip over that for the time being, and then we'll just look at the legendary actions and see how this all turns out. Now we have lore mastery once per turn. Durastoran, let's go with Dura just to speed it up, Dura is so adept at manipulating his magic and weaving the fates of other creatures that he can fundamentally change the structure of his magic. Okay, so when he casts a first level or higher, he can choose to apply one of the following additional properties to that spell. Shadow Touch, your Shadow's Touch. Reduces the target's hit points to 0, that creature dies and raises as a wraith. Okay, so that would increase the CR difficulty drastically because we now lose a player and we gain an opponent. Fated Demise, let's see here, spell requires a saving throw. Target made initial saving throw against it with disadvantage. Additionally, if the target fails its saving throw by 10 or more, the duration of the damage dealt by this spell is doubled. Cool. That's pretty handy. But for a CR, it's not really going to do anything, so we'll move on to Siphon Life. And the spell is empowered by Necrotic Might, causing it to deal necrotic damage rather than its normal damage. Additionally, Dura regains hit points equal to half the necrotic damage dealt by the spell. Alright, so that's handy. So we're going to be gaining a whole bunch of regen here, possibly by giving everything necrotic damage. And then we have a whole load of spells. And, yeah, exactly, just like riding a bike there, Grimboy, for sure. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, as I always do with custom monsters, we're going to look at the monster base first. We're not going to go into any spells for the time being, unless the CR comes up lower than is expected with the 25 here. So we're going to skip this for now, and we'll come back to that in a little bit, if need be. So we have actions here. We have multi-spell. Dura casts up to 2 spells, the combined level of which can be no greater than 9th. So that's cool. I like that. That's a neat idea. Let's see here. Oh, interesting. Okay, so the spell... Wow, 8 first-level spell slots. Woof. Okay. Then we have a multi-attack. Dura makes Necrotic Blasts attacks using uses Terrifying Visions or uses Deadly Phantom if available. Alright, so we have Necrotic Blast. Let's see what we have for our hit is 15. And for a CR 25, we have 8 plus... It's probably Charisma. So yeah, that'll be 15. Perfect. And then after that, we have 5d6 plus 7 necrotic. So we'll do 5d6 and the 7 from the charisma here for 24.5. Okay. And then can expend 1 or more spell slots to increase the damage of this attack. This increased damage is 1d6 for first level slots and plus an additional 1d6 for every slot higher than first to a maximum of 59 necrotic damage. Excellent. Okay. So we can really jack that up. Joe Math, hey, how's it going, bud? Haven't seen you in a while. And Clawpaw, wait, spellcasting balancing? Let me cast like 3 spells for free. And Grimboy, but yeah, the game really captures the feeling of exploring something in ruins. Cool. Yeah, I know, it's just one of those things, it's one of those games I really need to play. And I just haven't gotten to it. I'm currently playing Loop Hero, actually. That's pretty fun. I'm going to lurk for a bit. No problem, Grimboy. We'll see you in a little while then. Okay, so, Necrotic Blast. What kind of... it's doing necrotic damage, so we can include the Siphon Life from the Lore Mastery thing here. And then we could also spend like a 9th level spell slot if we wanted to really really just ramp up the damage here. So let's look at base for the time being and see what happens. So first of all, we have that Necrotic Blast. And let's see here, which can we know, and then uses Terrifying Vision or use... Okay, so then we get a choice of one or the other. So, let's see here. Joe Math, I was busy studying for math competitions. Luckily, I managed to go to the semifinals. Well, congratulations, Joe Math. That's awesome. Are you still in the competition, or was the semifinals as far as you made it? Clawpaw. Oh, wait. Are we talking about Hollow Knight? Yes. Yes, we are, Clawpaw. And Clorox. Necrotic Blast isn't a spell of first level or higher, so it wouldn't apply. Oh, thank you. Thank you for catching that. Yes, that's right. It's a ranged spell attack, but not a spell, an actual spell damage. Okay. Actually, hold on. Oh, I see. Yep. Okay, you did put the wording in there for first level or higher. Gotcha. Cool. Still in it. Wednesday will be the semifinals. Thanks. Oh, very awesome. Cool. Ooh, well, good luck with that, and hopefully you make the complete, get all the way to the end. Be great if you got to the finals and maybe won yourself a, first place or something. Cool. All right, Terrifying Visions. Dura targets a point he can see within 120, and each creature in the Chosen within 30 feet of that makes a DC save, taking 28 psychic damage and becoming frightened of Durastaran to the end of the next turn. Okay, so that's easy enough. That one's just going to be simply 28 times 2. And then we have Deadly Phantom. Until the end of Durastan's next turn, all attacks against him are made with disadvantage. If a creature attacks, misses, it takes psychic damage equal to the damage its attack would have dealt. If a creature successfully hits Dura, the attack deals half and the attacker takes 9 psychic damage. Okay. So, beyond the 9 damage, there's no way to really gauge Deadly Phantom, unfortunately. We could suggest average damages for, level 20th players, but... Oh, I just hit the mic, sorry. There's really no easy way to do that. So, sadly, I can't gauge Deadly Phantom. Josh! Hello, Josh! How you doing? Have you looked at the Vistana curse abilities? Even the CR0 Vistana Commoner has the curse abilities. No, I have not. Do you know what book they are in, Josh? Yeah, definitely Geomath. Hitting, first place would be great. Okay, so I'm going to suggest that Deadly Phantoms, we just can't gauge it. There's really no way because it relies heavily on player damage, unfortunately. We could throw in random numbers, but then we're just... Oh, Curse of Strahd. Oh, that's what... Okay, Curse. Oh, thank you so much. Okay. I have 2 more in front of this, but we can definitely look at those if there's nothing else popping up there, Josh. All right, so Terrifying Vision. So we'll just go with these for now. So it'll be these 2 for that. And then we have a bonus action. Command Undead. Duro targets up to 3 undead allies he is aware of. Each chosen ally then uses his reaction to move up to half their speed and make 1 melee attack. Okay, that's cool. Again, it's unfortunate we don't know what exactly we would be using for monsters, so it would help the CR for sure, but it's probably more helping the monsters he's commanding because they're the ones doing the attacks. Oh yeah, doing pretty well, Josh. Thank you for asking. It's life. Life has its up and downs, so, work through the downs and enjoy the ups, and hopefully we'll come out in the middle somewhere. So we have 2 reactions. Back to Dura here. We have Seal Fate. Recharges on 5 or 6, and as a reaction, let's see, a creature's within 60 feet. Making death saving throws, he can force the creature to automatically fail. Oh, Lord. So in theory, we would get this once every 3 rounds. That's brutal. Okay. So we will skip over that since it's not going to totally affect the CR. And let's take a look at Deceptive Magic Immunity. When Dura is affected by a spell or magical effect, he can use his reaction to attempt a Charisma check versus the DC. On a success, is unaffected, and the creature of his choice within 60 feet of him is affected instead. Cool. I like that. Not really going to help the CR all too much, although technically, if it is dealing damage or, doing something to the effect of knocking the player out of commission, that could help. As for, temporary or effective hit points or effective DPR, again, sadly, it's just no way to really gauge it. So we're really going heavily on whatever magics and attacks that we have for this monster here. And then we have legendary actions. We have 3 of them. Let's see here. Clorox. He had Fate Spinner levels back in 3.5, so I had to add some of the abilities to his 5e rendition. Oh, okay, cool. All right, so this is a monster. I see. I didn't play 3.5 for all too long. That's a shame. I was in it for a little bit, and then I think I joined up in 2014, maybe 2013 with my friends and my family. And then we switched to 5e because 5e had just come out not too long after that. All right. 3 legendary actions. Let's see. What do we have here? Strike. Dura casts a cantrip. All right. So what do we have for cantrips? Chill Touch, Sapping Sting, and Toll the Dead. Let's see. Joe Math, since you started calculating CRs for monsters, I started creating other spreadsheets to help for some schoolwork on economics. It was a game changer. Oh, that's awesome, Joe Math. I'm glad I was able to inspire you to help out with your schoolwork in that way. That's really great. That's fantastic. Okay, so let's see here. What do we have for Chill Touch? Oh, of course it's going to do that. All right, anyways. Let's see here. Chill Touch will be at its maximum, Sapping Sting, and Toll the Dead. So, I don't want that one. I want this one. Nope, I want that one. There we go. All right, so Chill Touch is going to be doing 18 points of 18 points of damage. Sapping Sting is 10, so that we're not going to bother with that. And Toll the Dead, at this point in time, we would obviously use Toll the Dead on anyone that's targeted and dealt damage, so we would get 26. So I'm just going to say that we will always get the 26 average damage for Toll the Dead. Yeah, okay. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of useful stuff from 3 and 3.5, and the monsters are incredibly easy to convert. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome that they're easy to convert. And yes, I'm definitely using Toll the Dead for sure. And I just forgot how much it was. Oh, man. Toll the Dead. There we go. 26. Okay. So we'll say 26 3 times if we want to use this one. So times 3. And we're looking at 78 for that one. And then we have Will of the Shadow. Costs 2 actions and makes Necrotic Blast attack using Terrifying Visions or casts a spell 4th level or lower. All right, so since we're not looking at spells at the moment, we're going to say Necrotic Blast attack and then uses Terrifying... Wow, and uses Terrifying Vision. Woo! All right, so we will get the multi-attack, and then we will also get 1 use of Toll the Dead for 26. So that is looking at 106. Let's see here. Or... Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or cast a spell 4th level or lower. Not both. That would be awful. Well, yeah. I see here for Will of the Shadow, you have Dura makes a Necrotic Blast, uses Terrifying Vision, and then or casts a spell. But because it's 2 actions, and then we have a third action point left, we would use the Strike for a cantrip to round that out at 106. So we would get the multi-attack, and then we would also add in the Toll the Dead damage as well. That's what I'm doing, at least. Yes, but you're right. Being able to also cast a 4th level spell would be terrible. And then we have Prakutu's Might. Dura recharges the use and uses Deadly Phantom, or he casts a spell at 5th level or higher. Okay, that will require us to know what we have for spells here that would give out the most amount of damage. So I'm going to skip over that for now. Let's see what we can do just with base melee abilities and what have you, besides also using in the cantrips. So for the time being, we would do all of this the same, unless we have some... hold on, I just want to quickly look through these. Pattern, Blade, Charms. I'm not seeing anything... There might be some... I'm not seeing any reaction spells, so... Hong Kong! Hey, buddy! Good to see you. Thanks for joining up. And I thought you were applying both Necrotic Blast and Terrifying Visions for the same cost. That would not be the intention. Yeah, no, not at all, Clorox. Alright, so... I don't think there's any other spells to worry about. So we would just do this and do this all 3 times. Alright, so we have a CR 23 at the moment, which is good to see, which means we could throw in some magic. Cantrip I remember it has Toll the Dead. If there is Toll the Dead, I'll start with an average of DPR cantrip of over D8, then use the Toll the Dead to get D12. Yeah, the 3 cantrips were Chill Touch, Sapping Sting, and Toll the Dead, but since this is a legendary action, we would be going... This would be casted after the the character, the monster has had their attack. So we would just use Toll the Dead on a target that's already been hit and just get the maximum damage. At least that's what I would do in the encounter Joe Math. But we have Chill Touch, Sapping Sting, and Toll the Dead if you wanted to do other various things like that. Okay, so we have some spells to look through here. What might be the most effective? There's so many to go through. It's tricky to say without spending too much time. Clorox, what spells did you pick to get you to CR 25? Just to speed things up a little bit, because it's going to take me another 10 or 15 minutes just to pull up all these spells. And I would like to make sure... I would like to get to a couple other requests here that we had. Oh, we do have a counter spell, which is a reaction. So we have that. And what else do we have? Typical fireballs. 56 damage there. Not a pattern. Alright, let me pull up counter spell. And what's the effective damage there? Is counter in there? No, it's not. Counter spell. There we go. 27 effective DPR. I also assumed Necrotic Blast would be amped to the max for his full attack and legendary action for averages. Oh, I see. So you used... Oh, I got you. So you're using the spell slots up for the Necrotic Blast. Gotcha. So we would be adding in that 59 damage for round 1 at least. Okay. Okay, that's cool. Let's also add in the counter spells. We have enough for how many? We could, 6 slots. Jeez, we could at least do 3. Note to self: make as many monsters who have spells that work more with effects and less with actual damage numbers to be like Andrew. To be liked by Andrew. Well, it's still a matter of finding out like what the effective damage is too. So if you got spellcasters, don't worry about it. But you know, I would suggest if you do want to create a spellcaster, look at the new way spellcasters are being created. Few spells and a couple spell-like abilities. Alright, so we have 27 there, so we would add in 67 effective hit points for this fellow. And then we would also have, let's see here, the 59 damage on top of that. So we'll just go in here and add that in for 59 as well. Alright, so we have a CR 26, but that's including counterspell. So let's knock off counterspell just for the time being. And still CR 26. Oh, yeah, I know what I did wrong. Okay. Let's fix that. So, what are we saying here? Let me pull up my calculator. So that should be 15, but we can go up to spell level 9. 1, 2, 3. Let's see here. I use that format for some creatures, but for other monsters, I prefer the versatility of the spellcasting trait. Understandable. So let's see here. Expend 1 or more spell slots to increase the damage of this attack. This increases damage by 1d6 for first level spell slot, plus an additional 1d6 for every slot higher than it first. So the total calculated, I believe, since we have, let's see here, 5 is base, so that would be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think the maximum you have here, Clorox, should be 14d6. I'm going to go with that. So we have 14 times 3.5 plus 7. Oh, wow, it's only off by 3 points. That's weird. Okay, so 56 points of damage for the first attack. So we use spell slot number 1. And then if we... Oh, geez, of course. Okay, that's right. I copied all that. So I have to do this separately for all of them. Okay. And then after that, let's see here. It would be 13 times 3.5 plus 7, 52.5. And then the last one is, let's see here, what was it? 12. Nope. Times 3.5 plus 7, 49. plus 49. All right, now we add in the counter spell damage, and we have CR 25. Okay. The wording was meant to imply that he can expend multiple spell slots to amp it to 15d6. Interesting. Okay, no, all right, I'll take your word for it. The wording's a little confusing to me, but that's fine. So we'll switch one just for the heck of it. 15 times 3.5 plus 7 to 59.5. Okay. So we'll switch that bottom one to 59.5. Yeah, we still get CR 25. So yeah, just like you said, Clorox, you know, we get a CR 25 here using Counterspell and ramping up all of the spells up to their maximum. So there's a good chance that this monster would definitely increase past a CR 25, especially if we use, you know, let's see here, Finger of Death or Powered Word Pain or some of these higher spell slots, especially if they're upcasted or whatnot. So at base, we definitely have the 25. If we wanted to keep it at the 25, this is obviously how we would want to use the monster. But it'd be curious to see some other ways, especially if we took a look at some of the spells. But because we're looking at such high numbers here, I don't think many of these spells could reach that as well. So more than likely, so he could expend an 8th and a 2nd level slot. Oh, wow. Okay, gotcha. All right. Glad I was on the money with the multi-attack. Yeah, for sure. This is cool. I like that. It's a cool monster. It would be very curious to see how this could play out, though, for with the multi-spell attack. You know, maybe using, you know, a fireball, and then what was that? We could do like a chain lightning in the same extent. Ooh, all right. I know fireball is usually 56. Let's take a quick look at chain lightning. 90. So we would have, what is that? 146 damage there, plus 146 plus that would be 152. Yeah, wow. So a fireball and a chain lightning plus the legendary actions could bring this up just a little bit higher than some of these other ones. So it looks like even though we have some spell casting in here, you have a decent, you have like a really good, actually a really good balance between the spells and the melee as well. So if anything, I might say that this could possibly touch into a CR 26. I don't think it would go much higher than what you have here, Clorox. Excellent job on this monster. I like that. That's cool. All right, let's move on here. We have a couple items in the monster request section of the Discord, and Clawpaw threw out a diseased rat and a slimy slug. So let's get that diseased rat going first here. Take a look at that one. And let's see here. Go back to that. All right, so we have a diseased rat. Can I shrink that down at all? I can a little bit. Cool. And this is a submission from Clawpaw. I do like that token border. That's a nice token border there. I don't know about everyone else, but there's generally 2, maybe 3 styles of tokens that are on virtual tabletops. You've got your top-down view that's, you know, you can see more or less the top of the target's head, maybe their arms and their shoulders and whatnot. And then if you play on a, what is it, like a 3/4 view map, then you can get like a full front view of the token. And then there's Pog style, which someone coined. I prefer the Pog style. I don't know what it is. Honk, no, you have not missed yours yet. I don't think. What did you request? Did I miss it? I hope I didn't miss it. We had Clorox's, now we have 2 from Clawpaw. Let's see here. Was it further back? I saw you pop in. No, I didn't. Which one did you request, Honk Honk? Oh, Lord. Oh, no. I forgot about that. Oh, no. Oh, right. Oh, dear. Okay. Yep. Let me get back to that one. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. All right, Clawpaw, we will have to put yours on the back burner for a little bit here while we look at Cyphus. This was Hong Kong's request that was thrown in there from last a couple days ago. Let's see here. Yeah, the King of the Undead. Okay. Yeah, let me start this one up. Remind me if you can, Hong Kong, because this one is going to be massive. This is probably one I would really want to sit down and take some time with. Yeah. Oh, boy. Okay. Let me look at that one another time here. I may do that one on the side for myself. Okay. So we have the Diseased Rat from Clawpaw. Very quick one here. At least it should be. We'll see what happens. 12 AC with... what size is it? This should be not medium, so we're going to go with small since it's a 4d6. And we'll do that. And then we have stats of 2, 14, 12, 9, 7, and 3. Oh, I didn't reset the tool. Son of a gun. Let's start that over. Small. Okay. And then 4. And then 2. And that. Okay. And we're looking for a 1/2. We got 2 saving throws. Okay, we don't have to do anything with those. We do have some resistances to poison, and we'll skip over that. We have Keen Smelling for the Diseased Rat. Nothing really going on for that because it doesn't do any kind of effect besides advantage and whatnot for perception checks. So we'll go into the Bite. And let's see here. The Bite is melee weapon attack, +4 to hit. And... okay, so we're working off the dex. That's cool. And then what do we have after that? We have 4 piercing damage. The target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or be infected with Stingay. With that, a creature infected with this is vulnerable against necrotic and poison damage. The infected person also smells very bad and has disadvantage on charisma, persuasion, or performance persuasion checks. Excellent. Yep, just a normal rat with a little bit of spice. That's for sure. Undying and undead undying are 2 different things. Stinky. Okay, thank you. Stinky. I keep whacking the mic because I put it back into position here. All right, so what are we doing with Stinky? Stinky is, let's see, infected, vulnerable to necrotic damage. So that will be increasing the damage after the first attack. And generally speaking, most monsters like this will pick one target and focus on them unless otherwise persuaded to do differently. So the first attack is going to be worth 4 points of piercing damage. Wait. Is vulnerable against necrotic and poison damage. But the rat doesn't give any kind of poisoning or necrotic damage. It's a little disease. Okay. So Clawpaw should... oh, damn it. The bite. The bite here. Should the bite actually be poison or disease damage rather than just piercing? Or should it have a rider? Oh, so that's on purpose then. That it doesn't. Okay. Alright, so then should be pretty straightforward actually. We got a 4.5. And no multi-attack, so it'll just be 4.5 times 2. Alright, Joe Math, take care. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later, man. 3 attacks. Though will be in a very poisonous area. It's a minion type thing. Okay, gotcha. So, with everything going on here, we actually seem to have an overrated monster. We're seeing a 1/2 or 1/4 at the moment, but it should be a 1/2. So, what are we going to do to update that? We could possibly say, if we do that to 5, that's not going to do anything else there. But if we do 2 attacks, it's going to put us into a 1. Actually, yeah, if we give it a multi-attack of 2 bites, that will probably be the fix here. Yep. Yeah, I mean, if you want to just turn this into a 1/4, you could definitely do that. And you can have a whole bunch of diseased rats then instead. If we do a multi-attack times 2, and then take this times 3, we could get a 1/2 that way. And with 2 bite attacks, you know, you're looking at a pretty heavy-duty hitting monster, but with only a couple hit points, 18 or 20 on average, they'll survive 1 attack at least. So they'll get upwards of 2 attacks, you know, or they'll need 2 attacks to kill them off. So yeah, you can either rate it at 1/4 Clawpaw or give it a multi-attack of 2, and then you can rate it for, or keep it at the 1/2. All right, so that's the diseased rat. Yeah, you know, it'll be definitely, I can see how you would have that in with something else there for poison and disease damage, getting the vulnerability in, which is cool. I like that disease. That's cool. All right, and then we have the other one here from the Discord. Slimy Slug. That was a weird noise. Oh, excuse me. Oh, the small ooze. Okay, that's for the slimy slug. All right. Oh, I thank you. I see you put the small beast there. All right, cool. Small ooze, AC 8. Oh, I see. Oh, thank you. I thank you. Okay, I see it. The thing got cut off. Gotcha. I was a little confused at first. Okay, so it's a small ooze with 8 AC, which is proper with its -2 dexterity. And then what do we have here? 5d6 hit dice, and we have 2, 6, 14, 1, 7, and 1. Yikes. Okay, and we're looking at 1/8 for this monster. All right. We have, let's see here, damage vulnerabilities to lightning, piercing, slashing, and necrotic, but we also have resistances and 1 immunity. So this is curious. Yeah. Okay, now it's also visible in the stream. All right. All right, so the slimy slug here. We have vulnerabilities, and we have a whole bunch of them. So we'll definitely throw in the vulnerabilities. Tick that. And then we have resistances to poison, bludgeoning, and we have an immunity to acid. So the curious thing here is, do we combine the 3? It's a low-leveled monster, that's for sure. I'm going to go with no for the time being. Although I am curious if we could combine these and say like, oh, it just has resistance then since it has 1 immunity to acid, which technically could be taken into effect, but for the time being, oh, my cat's staring at me through the window from outside. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Come on, buddy. All right, I'm back. Let's see here. So, what do we got here? We're moving on into the monster traits. So for the monster traits, we got damage absorption. Oh yes. Yeah, I heard this little meow, and I look over to my side. My cat's just standing on a table outside my window, a little, you know, one of those deck tables, and was just looking at me. And for sure. All my cats are priorities. So we have damage absorption. Whenever the monster is subjected to acid damage, it takes no damage and instead regains a number of hit points equal to the damage dealt. Question is, it does deal acid damage. So it could punch itself and heal if it really wanted to. I mean, just saying. The monster could attack itself and heal itself. And then we also have infectious wounds. So I'm going to say for damage absorption, because it's only acid, we really won't have to take that into effect. But, you know, if it wanted to spend its round punching itself and hitting itself to heal, it could. That'd be really funny. Since it's, well, it is immune. Yeah, it is immune to acid. So yeah, it could totally hit itself. That's funny. Alright, so, infectious wound. If the slug is on a creature, the target has disadvantage on saving throws against being poisoned and diseased. Okay. Neat. I like those. They don't really deal too much with the monster. Oh, excuse me, 1 second. And then, yeah. I lost my train of thought. Anyway, moving on. Technically, yeah, but how far does it go? Or does it get? Not very far, especially when, you know, it's being attacked, for sure. With vulnerabilities, no less. Alright, so we have a 0 for attack. And we only deal 2 points of damage. Technically 2.5. And then, definitely will not happen in a poison sewer. That's for sure. But does work well with your infectious rat. I see the combo here. So what's the rider here for melt? The snail remains on the target's body and can be removed as an action or by being hit with a necrotic or fire spell. If the snail hit the target once, it can roll for damage on its next turn using the same hit roll. Excellent. Okay. I would say for sure. I would definitely give that a vulnerability to having a salt thrown on it. All right, so then we're looking at 2.5 times 3. And sure enough, we have a 0. Okay. Should be a CR 1/8, but we're finding a 0, it looks like. Okay. So the question is, were we using resistances? We could, let's see, just for the heck of it, let's throw in resistances and see where this goes. Goes nowhere. That's really strange. Oh, because it has such a low, oh, I see. This monster take damage. Yeah. Oh, yes. A pal of mine and me have decided to calculate salt as necrotic damage. That's a really good way of putting it. That's really funny. I like that. All right. So adding in resistances actually does nothing because the AC of this monster is so low. So we're expecting a 13 and we have an 8. So that's what? 5 below, so a -2. So technically our defensive rating should be a DCR -1/8. And then on top of that, we have the -1. So the -1 is going down to a 0. And then we have -1/8 and 0. So yes, it falls back to a 0. 1d4 salt damage. In some instances, I would say for sure, honk honk. Yeah, it looks like with everything we got going on here, Clawpaw, this is a CR0 monster. Yeah, okay. Oh, pardon me. What do you want, Pumpkin? I don't know what that cat wants. Alright, so what could we do to make this a little bit more of a threat and bring it up to the 1/8? Because as it's sitting here, small snail goes grr, for sure. Let's see. You're welcome. What could we do for a 1/8 rating? Well, as it's standing, we can't technically go below 0, even though the DCR is a -1/8. So we would want to hit probably 1/4 maybe? Okay, what's your idea? 2d6, 1d4, or 1d6. 1d6 might, well, oh, excuse me. 1d6 is, oh yeah, probably Hong Kong. I wouldn't be surprised if you couldn't. 1d6 is only going to be 3.5, and that's only going to raise us to the top end of the DPR range for 1/8. I would think we would probably need to go into 4 or 5 damage. When reduced to 0 hit points, deals X amount of damage as it explodes. Yeah, you could do a death explosion. So let's see here. If we add in death burst of, I don't know, let's just say a D4. So we'll say 2 damage here. All right, so that's not gonna up it. All right, what do we say? A D10, which is, what's that? It's like the low end for traps and whatnot. So we say a D10 to, oh no, that's right. Is it always against 1 or 2 targets? I could not remember. Creatures within, yeah. Oh, so we would expect 2. Now the question is, what's my math doing? Oh yeah, it is multiplying it by 2. Okay, and yeah, I put a note here. Okay, so we would need technically more than 2 damage there. Dex save would be based off which stat though? For which one, Hong Kong? For the death burst? Let's see here. We'd say 5. Yeah, we would need like a D10 of a death burst of damage, which is crazy. But you could get this up to a CR 1/8 that way with a death burst, which would be kind of surprising for anyone that had the slugs attached to them. Oh, for the death burst. Yeah, I think it just really depends on what you're doing with the attack, because I know a lot of the methods do different types of saves here. Let's see here. So a dust method is a constitution for that one. The ice method is dexterity. Magma is dexterity. Mud is dex. The smoke one doesn't have one. And the steam is also dexterity. Yeah, I guess it really depends on what kind of effect you're doing, because for the dust method, they're being blinded, so it's more of a constitution save. So I guess any kind of damage, you would generally rely on dexterity. So yeah, if you do like a 1d10 dex death burst, with if Constitution DC 10, if others 8 or less. Clorox, I think they were wondering how the DC. Yes, yep, you're right, Clorox. I get jumping back and forth between chat and doing this. I lose track. And Clubeye, it would probably be more of a dex one as the jelly inside goes splash, and you try to maybe not get hit. For sure. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. It seems like anything when it deals damage is usually a dexterity save, and any kind of a status effect is usually something of a usually of a constitution, it seems. Okay. All right. A few minutes left of the stream. Do we have a quick one we want to look at? Is there any kind of a monster maybe from the books that we could take a look at, or does someone else have something? I have a couple lined up here if we want to look at those, because unfortunately Hong Kong's is rather large, and I may take a look at that this week on my own time and see what we get for that. Yep. Yeah, it starts at base 8, and then we'll add in the proficiency bonus and any kind of modifier, which can go down. Have you done Zakya Rakshasa from the Eberron books? I don't believe so. I haven't touched too many, I haven't worked on too many Rakshasas. Ebron, 309. Let's see if we can pull this one out quick. Hopefully. Ebron. There you are. Let's go to 310. Okay, we got ourselves an angry lion fiend. Alright, yeah, we'll take a look at this one real quick and finish off the night here. Actually, at Hunk, I might have gone through all the gnolls. I'm not entirely sure. I know I've covered a lot of gnolls. Let's see here real quick. Let's see here. Pack Lord, Nullfang, Null Vampire. Have I not looked at the regular Gnoll? Apparently I may not have. Yeah, I've got a few of them. I guess I haven't looked at the regular Gnoll, which is really surprising. Okay, let me reset the tool. We'll look at Zakia Rakshasa, and we'll close out the night. You're welcome, Hunk. Alright, so we have a medium fiend here. 18 scale mail with the shield. And then we have... Oh, wait. I put that in the wrong spot. 18. Yes, definitely a medium with 78 hit dice. And I'm just going to throw in the constitution here of 18 for that. Should be CR5. Which is very small, as Clorox suggested. Had said in the chat there. Compared to the regular Rakshasa, this is really low. And then we have, let's see here, saves. No saves. We have some damage vulnerability. Piercing from a good creature, which, very rare. Most people that are using piercing weapons are probably chaotic. Although chaotic good could work. Damage resistances to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. So we can throw that in at least. I'm not going to do the vulnerabilities, just obviously. And then we have, let's see here, some innate spellcasting of Detect Thoughts, Disguise Self, and Shield. We have one shield. Okay. So, once per day we can do a shield. So, how would we work that out? Not really sure. I would say probably we'll go with 2 AC for shield, since it can only do it once. Instead of being able to do it at least 3 times. They were needed from 3E. Used to be CR8, and then the 3 Rakshasa was CR10, so the discrepancy wasn't as large. Oh, okay. Oh, neat. Okay. Well, we do have the limited magic immunity, so we'll take this one as a nerfed. Oh, okay. Nerfed from 3E. Gotcha. Okay. So we do have this limited magic immunity, and we're going to use this. It's experimental. I think the plus 10 effective AC works. As I've used it with some of the other monsters, I am not entirely sure if this is the proper amount to give it. But we'll see what happens. Because at the moment, we're already at CR5. With just what we have. And we haven't even looked at the attacks yet. Martial Prowess. Martial Prowess once per turn. When the Rakshasa hits a creature, the attack deals an extra 11 damage of the weapon's type. And the creature must make a save. On a failure, the Rakshasa pushes the creature, knocks the creature prone, or makes the creature drop an item it's holding. Okay. The prone could be helpful for advantage. That would be handy to have there. But once per turn, we can do this every turn. We'll just add this into the extra damage here for 11. Yeah, that was 11. Okay. Zakia's is only half as effective as... Oh, base Rakshasa. Thank you. I didn't even look at that far. Oh, man. It's only first level? Wow. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay, so we're not going to do this one. We're not going to do limited. We're going to say, I would say probably another 2. If you know, regular Rakshasa is getting 10 for up to CR6. We would say 5 for 3. Yeah, I would say maybe another 2 AC. We'll just do that instead. We'll say 4 total. Yeah, since it's only first level. Yeah, I totally glanced over that because I thought it was all the same thing. Thank you for pointing that out. Inspiration to you, Clorox, for your D&D games, although may not be recognized by your DM. All right, so multi-attack for this Rakshasa. Let's see what we're going there. This can make 3 melee or weapon attacks. Alternatively, can make 2 ranged attacks with its javelin. Okay, so we're looking at +7 to hit. And then we have, what do we got here? 8.5 or 9 if it's being wielded two-handed, but we do have a shield, right? Yeah, we have a shield, so we're going to do the longsword one-handed. And then the javelin is 7.5 there. So we have 3 uses of the longsword and 2 uses of the javelin. All right, so obviously we would want to be doing the longsword damage, and we would do that 3 times for every round of combat. So maybe, and this is with an asterisk here, this may be a CR7. I mean, since it's a level, let's play with this a little bit here. If we bypass immunities, which is a possibility, let's see what we get for bypassing immunities here. If we have no immunities, we get CR6. Okay. So then, go back to resistances here. We have the shield that we get to use once. So let's dump this. Oh, wow. Wait. I goofed up. That should have been 2 + 2. Okay, that's my fault. Let's see what we have now. Okay, now we have a CR6. And then without resistances, we'll probably have a CR5. Sure enough, we do. Okay. So we're probably in the right area here. If we only give the shield bonus and the limited magic immunity maybe 1 each instead, and we'll say that it's a total of 2, then we're probably looking at a CR5 proper, which we are. So this is a tricky one because of the 1 use of shield, and we have this really nerfed limited magic immunity as well. Hard to gauge. This might be accurate. This is probably correct. I'm going to say, you know, with the question mark of how to use limited magic immunity when applied to a table and charts like this, this is probably a little floaty in CR5 to maybe even upwards of 7. Depends on how much magic is being hit. You know, if players are just spamming level 1 spells at this guy and it's not taking any effect and they're not paying attention and not using anything higher, then, you know, this could technically be an even better ability than what we have rated here. So, hard to say. I'm going to go with probably even rated for Zakya Rakshasa. Okay, let me take a note of this, and then we will close out the night. Down at the bottom here. Okay, so X with that, and what were the ratings? I think it was just 5 across the board, right? Yeah. I'm going to leave this as a question mark and note nerfed limited magic immunity AC range question mark. Okay. All right. That was a fun one. That was cool. I like that. It was nice and quick. Thank you for the suggestion, Clorox. And we are going to close out the night here. It is now 11 o'clock on the East Coast in New York, and it's time for me to go to bed. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. It was a pleasure having everyone here. Oh, you're very welcome, Clorox and Clawpaw. Honk Honk. We also had Josh and, let's see here, Josh, Joe Math. Where else? I know there's a couple others. Yeah, Joe Math, Josh, Grimboy. Also, yes, can't forget Grimboy. ASCII Basky showed up. Thank you all for joining. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight and looking at some monsters. This was a very fast stream. I was impressed with how quickly it went. And again, thank you all for showing up. You guys are awesome. And this... Don't do that snap. Ugh, that was my bad. This is me, Andrew, asking with D&D CR Exposed, are your encounters even rated? Have a good night, folks, and I'll see you all next time.